Welcome, lovely soul friend, my lovely, lovely soul friend. Welcome, lovely soul friend. Soul friend. Today I am, and we are, and I am sharing you kind of a before lesson, a starting lesson, or it's not really a starting lesson, but a way of viewing existence that is going to allow you and help you with shamanic work and with the energetical work in closing or opening portals. So that's coming up soon, the portal work, and this will just be like a thing that's going to assist you and help you. And Draco's here with me today, also helping me with the frequency. So basically the work, the lesson, the teaching, the work, the lesson, teaching, what am I talking about? No, it's Sidraku. Sit here! Not feeling very stable today. Come on. Okay, just lay down. Um, yeah, it's basically seeing reality in elements, right? It's seeing everything as the element that it is, which is helping you to give away any kind of meanings and take a step back away from everything. Sort of zoom out in a way, but not zoom out completely, but zooming out from the energy. It's basically what happens when you take away meaning from anything and you just observe everything as the energy, right? And so we are going to start. I'm going to share with you. These are my 4 elements. So here we have air, water, fire, and earth. These are the elements that I kind of the element symbols that I use in my own magical workings. And this is the symbol of the spirit essence, additional to the work that I do. And then yeah, you can, there's like several systems with the 4 elements, with the 4 physical elements. There's the classic ones, right, which were like the triangles, up and down, and triangles with the line, the classic symbols for those elements. I use my own because they, in that way, they have more. I have more effect on them, basically. It's just more effective, is what I believe. You can take inspiration from my elements, you can make your own, you can use mine, you can use the classic ones, whichever you like to use. But in this video, I'm gonna just go through kind of the examples of like what do I mean by using seeing everything as the element. So basically, let's use fire for example. Somebody's super mad and somebody's like, about something. You see, like you sit in a park, you see a person that is mad and just yelling at somebody else, and to take away meaning from what that exactly means, or like, that's not very nice, that's not very kind. All of those would be the meanings about it, right? About the situation. But if you would observe the energy from its like the situation from its energetical standpoint, you would see that the person, the angry person, embodies the element of fire, right? And this is where you kind of see everything as magic. That's why I always say everything is magic, everything is energy. You see everything as magic because if you start looking through the kind of the that everything is either like fire, water, earth, or air, or spirit. Everything is energy, right? And if you can, by observing your surrounding reality, surrounding yourself, you can see that everything everything can be kind of zoomed out to the element itself, then now you have the freedom to manipulate that element. What do I mean by manipulate? I mean alchemize, work with the energy, right? You can basically alchemize, yeah, basically you can operate, you can work, you can inject intention into something and create a different outcome. Of course, considering the free will and the karmic law of everything, of other people, of yourself, of the situation, and I'm not sharing these ideas and teachings from a position of where to use them against somebody else or somebody else's free will. That's not this channel, so if that's what you're interested, please, that's not for you. So liquidating illusion into elements. Illusion, what I mean, the dreaming, our dreaming, liquidating it into the elements. Because liquidation, why is it liquidation? Because if you interact with everything from the position of your meanings, having meanings, right? This means that, that means that, that means that, and you kind of have all these filters, and you're not seeing it's an energy. It is a certain kind of energy, certain kind of element. Then, well, we often get stuck on things because they mean something. Then there's like our experience, our personal shadows. What are they called? Like, you know, our own bitter experiences throughout this lifetime or other lifetimes create these deep points, deep pains, points, deep pains, and then we, you know, if we add meanings on top of them, if we add filters of meanings of what it means, oh, it's bad, it's gonna happen, this is gonna happen, that is gonna happen. If you're gonna approach, there's so much trauma. There's meaning, and you get, well, there's nothing I can do, right? Basically, it comes down to you are stuck. There is a certain kind of situation, certain kind of thing is happening, you are stuck, there's nothing you can do about it. If you liquidate it to its core essence, element, you know, in this case, a person that is too angry is using too much the element of the fire. And if you would have like a traumatic situation with the person who's done that, and you would ultimately have added meaning on top of it, which would be like, well, that person is going to harm me if I you know, if I say something, they're going to harm me. You know, it's like your own traumatic experience. This and that is gonna happen. This and that is gonna happen. You get nowhere. You put yourself in a position in which you cannot alchemize this energy. Now, if you see it, well, it's just fire, right? This person is in a disbalance and using too much fire. If I bring this person a cup of drink, you know, like you could do many things to alchemize the situation. It's maybe also a very simplistic example of it. You could offer this person a drink, just like casually walk up. Hey, you want a drink? You want a free drink? And you're offering the person an element of water. It doesn't have to be water, it can be liquid. But if this person suddenly, with so much passion, so much fire, so much like, yeah, and the person has to now handle water, there is awareness, and there is kind of the cautionary, like suddenly if the person, you introduce this person to the element of water, let's say you say, it's like you have to tie a shoe and you have like a glass full of water or a drink, and you're like, can you hold this for a second? Can you hold this for a second and please don't spill it while I tie my shoe? And the person that was just having so much fire now has to be careful and hold the glass and do something for somebody else, which is basically the element of water. and therefore you're like mitigating the situation with a different element. And now you see how that was just one example. Let's say another example would be somebody is in the element of air, up in their thoughts, right? Because thinking in their head, thinking, planning, that is the element of air. The mind is the element of air. And if you see, like you see a person, they're thinking, they're just spinning in their head, and you're like, well, I know that for somebody who is too much up in the air, somebody would need earth, the element of earth. Therefore, I would bring them a piece of bread, a piece of a snack to eat. Go approach the person. Don't tell them to stop thinking that, don't attack air with air. Don't attack fire with fire. You alchemize different elements with different elements. You balance them out. Therefore, now you have this person with so much air going, spinning in their head. You give them some earth for grounding, right? That's great. Everything is magic. You can see now how anything can be alchemized, manipulated. Energy can be worked with, interacted with, shifted. There's a different approach to the interaction, like with the spirit element. That's why also my spirit element kind of goes up and down. There's like a shadow. Like as above, so below, kind of a thing happening there. Let's not go into that so much now. Because this video, I was kind of also thinking that it would prepare you for the working with certain energy, not just portals, because portals, when we do field energetical work, you can work with people, you can work with the field. There's not just like I usually approach it from a place of portals, but there's also different kinds of anomalies, different kinds of attachments, which I then kind of filter through if it's actually a portal or if it's something else, if it's a different kind of a energetical egregore circumstance. But whatever it is, I always start by looking at it through the element. Like I remember clearing a certain place where there were like 4 or 5 portals, and I just did through analysis, kind of like this is water, this is earth, this is air, and therefore this is allowing me to simply kind of alchemize this portal, this energetical place, by, if I know which which element it is, I can use my symbols, for that. I know which element, and just bring the opposite element. Of course, symbols are not necessary. Many people can work with fire, earth, water, air very naturally without having any symbols. And those symbols, we do, like when I say everything is magic, everything is energy, reality is magic. That's the perspective that I'm choosing. Somebody else might be choosing a perspective of everything is science, and then they go exploring everything through science. It doesn't mean I reject science. I still do kind of interact with the knowledge of science, but for me, I choose that everything is magic. Therefore, the symbols I use for my own fun as well, because it's like it's like a Harry Potter universe game. It's a game, right? In a game, you have if you had like a magical game, you'd have so many symbols, so many things to interact with. Makes it much more fun, makes it much more effective in a way as well. That's why I use the symbols. That's why I have the symbols. Symbols communicate with the subconscious mind much better than the words do. That's also a thing. Yeah. So, in summarizing this video, summarizing this message, if you sit somewhere, if you have like a time of observation, time of meditation, see how much you can explain and find within yourself, within your surrounding world, like how you can describe everything as an element. Like that's the element of fire, that's the element of water, that's the element, water represents emotions and all of that. That's the element of air, intellect, and everything. Fire, inspiration, passion, drive, imagination, earth, of course, all the physical manifestations, businesses, work, food, so everything like that. And sitting for a moment without any meanings, sitting just with the elements that surround you. And of course, if it's spirits, if it's certain spiritual qualities, then that would be a spirit quality. And you would have elements around you, surrounding you. And that is a large step closer to having your reality as magic, even if it is disbalanced, even if it is seems dense, low, negative, problematic, even if it's like depressing or whatever, it's still magic. It's just bad magic. It can still be transcribed, seen through the kind of the elements of, you're seeing nature for what it is in that sense. Draku, where did you go? I think he's shy today. He didn't want. No, I heard you very well. Did you think I explained everything well? Did we say everything that we wanted to say and share? Well, it doesn't feel very talkative today, honestly. It's just present. Okay, thank you for listening to me. I wish and I hope that you that this kind of insight, or this kind of let's say reduction of meaning and witnessing elements rather than meanings is giving you more power and more embodiment of your true essence than anything really. Okay, sure. Bye bye.